that will mean more than you know for your new mum friend. Do what's good for you, because it is about you. It is about you. Never, ever, like, promise me this, guys. Support her and you show her love and encouragement. And you listen and you empower her. Do not think that people coming and meeting your child is more important than you meeting your child. Oh, hi guys. I know. I'm fresh. I'm fresh. You didn't expect to see me today. Didn't expect it. I had this burst of motivation to do one today. One, because I actually got dressed up. I got my hair done last night, so I'm feeling fresh. I put makeup on, had to get some selfies to send through to my hairdresser. And this is actually on topic because one is my channel, but two, I actually went and visited a newborn. So as you guys can tell by the title of this week's video, how to visit a newborn and how to have healthy boundaries as a new mum. So let's just jump straight into it. I hope you guys really enjoy it. Let's start this video off with how to visit a newborn. This is important not just for the baby, but actually for the mum. You really want to be making sure that you are coming in as a calm presence, supporting presence, and really encouraging presence. You do not want to be coming in, getting her to make you a cup of tea, hosting you. You're actually coming into her space, but you want to host her. So my first thing would be that you want to come in and you want to make sure you're bringing something, whether that be a meal, whether that be some snacks, some treats. You really want to come in bearing goods, because ultimately, she's running on adrenaline. She just wants to be able to put that casserole in the fridge and know, whew, I don't have to deal with food tonight. That's amazing. Number two would be make sure to wash your hands. COVID obviously is like a huge thing, but just in general, if you're ever going to touch a newborn, make sure that you have either some hand sanitizer on you or you wash your hands, and kind of be the one to initiate that. Don't wait for mum to initiate it. Ask her if she needs anything, whether she needs a coffee, whether she needs a drink, whether she needs some food. This visit is so for mum as much as it is for baby. It's actually not about you as the guest. It's not about what you want. It's not about the cute photo. It's not about the newborn snuggles you want to have. It's actually about you making sure that mum feels empowered, supported, listened to, and encouraged. It's really important that you come into her space and you make her feel safe. It's a very vulnerable time. There's a lot of hormones. There is so much going on mentally, emotionally, and physically for a new mum, including healing, hormones, breastfeeding, body changes. Like, there's so much. So it's really important that as a guest, you're really aware of that and you're not actually making it about you. If you're driving by and you just want to pop in to quickly visit, no. Never, ever, like, promise me this, guys. Never, ever, ever do a drop-in on a new mum. This is me here to tell you that that is not acceptable behavior. There is so much going on for a new mum. She's probably dealing with bleeding, breastfeeding, cracked nipples, just naked all the time, because why get dressed? Because you just get thrown up all over and there's breast milk everywhere and you're sweating, you've got the night sweats, you've just got hormones going crazy. And someone randomly showing up that has not been scheduled in, wow, no. Secondly, even if you are family and you want to come and see the baby, you're desperate to, be really mindful that even though mum may love you and want to share baby with you, she needs to protect herself and she needs to have boundaries. So if she says not today, or if she says not right now, or I'm sorry, I know we had plans but I suddenly can't, You need to be gracious of that. And if you are on your way to actually come around and meet baby, make sure to text and be like, hey, is today still okay? Every day is different. You make plans as a mum, and then especially in the newborn days, you have a really bad night, you have a really rough morning, and sometimes you do have to cancel. And being that friend who just says, I totally get it, I'll message you again tomorrow and we'll try again. When you do eventually come and visit, don't kiss the baby, guys. Even if you're family. Sorry, nanas and grandpas out there, but even if you're family, just make sure to ask. Just ask, hey, can I, how do you feel about like kissing the baby? I really want to, like I'm desperate to. Mum's going to understand. She totally gets it, but it really is about her and what she is comfortable with. Don't be embarrassed to ask. It's normal that you want to kiss the baby, but it's actually normal that potentially she doesn't want you to, especially if the baby is premature, or if there have been complications with the birth, or if there, is COVID. So, just make sure that you are being really respectful of mum. I hope that that already is coming through as a really main point, is that actually mum is such a big factor that you need to think about. There's so much going on, guys. There's so much going on, and that's why I wanted to really curate this for you so that you can understand, because before you have a baby, it's honestly impossible to envision what postpartum and the fourth trimester is like. So if I can give you any key tips to be a really good friend and to be a really good new mum, to look after yourself, then I'm going to do it. If you come into the house, you're just thinking maybe you want to help, make sure to ask, because some mums would love the help and will be like, oh my gosh, yes. Some mums want you to hold baby so that they can get up and actually host you. That is really dependent on the mum, and it really is about communication there. When you walk in and you want to help, you want to be there for them, just say that. Say, how can I help you? And they might be like, yeah, honestly, I would love if I could just go and make a cup of tea. I want to go make it because I want to feel like me. But don't just suddenly start doing it unless you already have that relationship with the mum. You're just trying to come in and be helpful, but if you haven't communicated that already, she might be so vulnerable and hormonal that she could instantly assume that you are judging that her house is dirty, when actually you are just trying to be helpful. But she's that vulnerable, and there's so much going on for her that she thinks, oh my gosh, they've come in and they've started cleaning. It must look like an absolute bomb. It's all about communication in those early days, because as a new mum, yeah, you're very, very vulnerable emotionally. For me, I was quite defensive almost, with wanting to prove that I was okay. A really, really big one is make sure that you don't visit once and then never visit again. There's a new mum that's born the second a baby is born. So it's really important that you support her and you show her love and encouragement, and you listen and you empower her. You've got to build her up, because she's mum forever now, and baby will grow, but she's mum forever, and it's a very big adjustment. Don't just come, see the cute baby and be like, you're so good at this, but then see ya, good luck, I'll see you never. Make sure that you're not that friend, because as a new mum, that hurts. People who text me every day, even if I didn't reply, they would text me every day. They just wanted to let me know that they loved me. They just wanted to know how last night went. They just wanted to know if they could drop anything off today. Even now, I remember it. I know exactly who those people are, but continue to show up. Continue to show up. That will mean more than you know for your new mum friend. And leave. Make sure you leave. Make sure you don't overstay your welcome. A newborn is very time sensitive. Some babies are super chill, but she not only has so many people who want to visit, but she also needs to nap. She's not sleeping, and she's also probably too tired to be bothered to awkwardly tell you to leave. So make sure that you leave. Okay, I think that that is the perfect place to start. How to have people into your home when you have a newborn. When you're a new mum and you want to have all these people around, this is me as your mum friend telling you how to have healthy boundaries for inviting people into your home. Girlfriend, before you tell people that you're free at this time, tell them you're only free for a certain amount of time. Give them time frames. That way, when it gets to a certain time, you can go, hey, it's 11:40. If you've pre-set it before you get them into your house, you're going to be a lot more comfortable to obviously re-bring it up. Not only, do you want to nap when the baby naps, you actually also just don't want to have to be on all the time. And you don't want to have to be having people every second of every day affecting your bonding time with your baby. And with that also, say no to people. Say no to people coming around if you actually aren't up to it. Do not think that people coming and meeting your child is more important than you meeting your child. You've just had a kid. That takes time to process, and also you have to get to know them. They're a little stranger. I feel like I know too many mums, and myself included, who wanted to please everyone and have family over because they haven't seen him for 3 days. But like, fact is that you've seen people every single day, so no matter what, you're continuously outputting, but your family want to come and see him again, and they want to see you again. And it's just, if you can go into the 4th trimester knowing these things so that you can make like an educated decision around it, so that you don't drain yourself basically even more, then I hope that this video empowers you to do that. If you want to have people around, go and do it. But if you actually need some space, I encourage you to do that. And make sure that you're checking in with your partner as well about how he is feeling. He might want space. He might be needing time to be alone with you. Just because you're cool with having all of your family over doesn't necessarily mean he is. Make sure to keep that communication really high. Another thing is, when you have people into your space, if they're holding your baby and your baby is crying and you just want them back, be empowered to be like, oh, hey, can you just chuck them back here and I'll just see if I can quickly settle him. Sometimes you don't want to do that because you don't want to look like you're either being like really intense and like not letting other people help you, or you want to prove that like, you're chill. I know for me, like, I just used to start sweating. I would instantly want the baby back, but I'd be too awkward to be like, hey, can you just pass them back to me? As a new mum, you've got to kind of tell people, especially people who haven't had kids. Just tell them. Just tell them, because they don't know. So if someone's holding your baby and you just really want them back, then just be like, oh, hey, like, pass them back. I'll give them back to you after, once he's calmed down. Or be like, don't worry that he's crying. It's fine. He'd be crying if he was in my arms too. Like, if you're happy to keep trying to settle him, then keep trying. Breastfeeding for me was so hard to establish. People would come over and they would see I was pumping and they were like, oh, like, does your midwife know? Or, oh, you're giving the dummy. Like, it's just, when you're in those brand new phases, questions that are such innocent questions can feel like a knife, because you're so unsure of every decision that you're making. And then when someone else is just questioning it, just purely probably for conversation reasons, it can be really personal, even though it's not. This is probably one of my key things around this whole thing, is like, as mum, I want to empower you in this new phase to kind of know that you're allowed to struggle. You're allowed to not want to do things. You're allowed to want to do things. But you're also like, just do what's good for you, because it is about you. It is about you. The fact is like, your whole life just changed. Everything about you just changed. Your body physically just changed. Your emotional world entirely changed. Your mentality on what the world even is or was has completely changed. If you just come away from this video being empowered to, know how to handle even one tiny aspect of newborn life, then I feel like, I don't know why I didn't make this video sooner. Like, this is such a big one. I hope that I have given you lots of things to think about, either as a guest in someone's home or as a new mum. Please comment down below if I brought up things that you've never thought about before. Thank you for taking the time to sit and learn about this. I think it will make huge differences in both your life as a new mum, but also in your new mum friends' lives. Make sure to shower them with love, make sure to keep showing up, make sure to keep empowering them, and get those newborn snuggles when you bloody can. There's nothing like it. Okay guys, peace out. I will see you later. Bye.
Oh.